Hello and welcome along to the Where's My KitBag podcast. Once more, we are back with episode 2 of season 2 with myself, James.
Me, Will.
And I'm Steve.
And we have a very special guest in the studio today. Guest, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hello. Craig is a bit loud. I'm Adan. I'm a student here, second year. This is a pretty special occasion. We're here.
You are guest number 1. You are guest number 1, Adan. How does that feel?
It feels pretty great.
We don't have a badge, but you can have a round of applause at the end.
Yeah. All right, thank you guys.
We have a jingle for that.
It's
all good. So, without further ado, Steve, now, as per your request last week, you went, I want a new bed.
A new bed?
New bed?
Well,
IKEA, I can recommend.
I've made this a jingle and a bed, so you can have it on the background while you talk.
Oh, great. All right.
No. Oh, no,
worries.
cool.
All right, cool.
Special.
So, I've not heard this, by the way, just for context.
So, Steve, would you like to hear your brand new news jingle?
Roll it, Chief.
All right. So to Department News with Steve. Steve.
Wow, I'm speechless.
That was fantastic.
That was amazing.
Lovely.
And I've got to talk over this music.
Yes.
Oh, amazing.
That's
right.
why it's there.
First
It's free. It's copyright free. I checked.
Excellent. Here in the media and film department, we have breaking news. On the TechNet website, you can now access a Wix playlist straight from the website.
That was spot on. I like that.
Brilliant.
Okay,
You nailed that, mate.
I mean, I can cut the music. If
Sky
it's
News,
putting
here
you
we
off.
go.
Maybe a fade out because it really adds the Anchorman voice.
Anchorman.
No, besides, we were going to do a tutorial for Wix, but then we stumbled across a playlist that pretty much had everything a little bit more professionally done. Actually, no, because we're very professional here at TechNet. I'd say it was more polished, ready to be delivered by Wix for you guys.
I think it was more of, we know the software, but we didn't make it. So the fact that they cover stuff we probably would have forgot to have covered.
And they're just
Which
in
is
like
quite
one
nice.
little minute pop videos just of here's this, here's that, here's how you do this, here's how you do that. So if you do or want a little bit of Wix training and you want it in bite-sized chunks, head over to technet.farnborough.ac.uk. Head to software, and then where Dreamweaver used to be, rest in peace,
R.I.P.
is now the Wix button. If you click the Wix button, you'll be redirected to YouTube, or you'll find a lovely playlist of tutorials.
Nice.
I can vouch. Wix is fantastic. I love it. It's great.
Oh, an experienced user.
There we go.
No, not experience. I've used Wix before, and it's honestly, it's great. It's fantastic.
What have you worked on Wix? What?
I did something I had to make a website for something for one of my coursework projects, and it just I've seen it. Loads of people use it before, so of course it's just like my favourite place to make a website on. And if I ever actually did make one that was released, I'd use Wix.
It's quite straightforward, isn't it? I think
it is. Yeah,
and
it's really good.
Other ones you can't really drag stuff around or right click on things, but I think at least with this one you can.
I mean, I just want to clarify, I'm not being held at gunpoint by a member of Wix to promote their product. I do actually really like it. So
who's that man standing behind you? Oh no, mind.
Besides that,
Hang on. Do you want this to come back up for the next story?
Amazing. It literally really throws me off. I'm not gonna lie.
Just gonna leave it there.
Killing me.
It's like the countdown timer, isn't it? You're like
All
under
of a sudden your
pressure.
mind goes blank.
Du-du-du-du-du.
New newsletters out. Actually, you'll probably find by the time this has gone out, if you head up the stairs in the department and look to your right, there'll be a lovely A1 poster.
Ooh, fancy.
That's going to be
yes.
highlighting all of the rules and regulations and the penalties to kit booking. Okay. The reason we're doing this is only because we want to give you guys the best opportunity you can. Basically, what we do on a Friday, especially this time of the year when there's a lot of traffic for kit, we literally almost empty the cages. I think we do empty the cages every weekend. And what we've found a really good system is kind of going through it in first come, first serve order and pre-packing the kit. That way there isn't a long queue, you guys aren't waiting too long, and everyone is catered for. However, the only sad thing that we found is, which is no fault of potentially a student or anything. Circumstances change and we get that. But we want to make sure if a student isn't able to pick up kit or for whatever reason, if we are let know, then we can distribute that kit and it can actually be used and it can be a benefit. So we're basically going to implement this kind of penalty, and don't take that as like it's a serious issue. It's more of a case of we want to reward the students who are like abide by the rules. I'm using like air quotes for that. But unfortunately, if you're not able to do that, what we're going to basically do is, it doesn't mean you can't get equipment. It just means that you're going to be put on like a low priority list or an amber list, as like a kind of, we could call it punishment. We'll roll with that. Which basically means if you do go and book kit, whether you booked it, in 2016, you're going to be bottom of the list for the weekend that you've asked for it or the weekday. So if there's other students that want kit before you, it could mean you ultimately end up with the bare bones camera and a lens, or maybe even nothing at all. So it's hoping that we can kind of be a bit more vigilant on the kit kind of things. It's not because we want to be harsh, it's more because we kind of, there's nothing worse than seeing a student kind of coming to us going, please can I have my kit, and be like, no you can't, even though it's sitting behind us and doesn't go away for the weekend. I
think in the end of the day, it comes down to two things. One's just communication.
Yeah.
Just letting us know if something happens to the kit, you're running late, just drop us an email. As long as we know you're okay and the kit's okay, that's the main thing. And the other one's just not taking advantage of the situation, because, we've got quite a lot of money's worth of kit, and it stops you guys from having to go out and buy it, and you get access to lenses and everything like that. But once you've done a couple bookings, you can fall into full prey to kind of like lazy habits. And if you have that with your own equipment in the future, it's not going to last as long. Period.
Yeah. I think it's a good thing to do as well. I mean, you may kind of, you probably won't, but you may find us frustrating now. But when you get to the next level, when you get to university, it gets even more strict. And when you then get into the industry, I mean, we looked into it. Places like ARI, if you miss the deadline by even minutes, it can cost you hundreds and hundreds. Obviously, we're not going to charge you like currency, but that's how the world kind of circulates in our industry anyway. So if we can kind of teach you the habit of the importance of hiring equipment, even though we do it at a slightly more informal kind of, if you're a student basis, when you do get up to the big dogs like ARI, which we really hope you do, that you know how the ball rolls. Essentially, that's kind of the way we're trying to embed in you. So yeah. That's pretty much all the updates in the department. Obviously, check out the newsletter. It's Ad Astras, the spotlight kind of film of the week, only because it comes out this week, I believe. It comes out on Friday, I do believe. On the 20th. So yeah, go and have a look at that. That looks pretty good. Nice space film.
I like the look of it.
Yeah, it looks really
interesting. I really like the look of it.
I do as well, mainly because it's Brad Pitt, and who doesn't love Brad Pitt?
Yeah,
it's interesting. Very interesting. And yeah, check out the newsletter. I'm not going to read you through the whole newsletter now. Go and have a look. And that's kind of the department news. It's kind of slow and steady and business as usual.
Nice.
The cogs are turning. Yeah.
Cogs are turning.
Lovely. There
nice. Thanks, Steve.
There's some department
Thank you, Steve.
Will.
Hello.
Would you like some the old tech news?
Tech news.
Tech news. Woo.
Oh yes. All right. So we're kicking off this week. So I think we mentioned last week about Canon releasing the C500 Mark II. It's a £15,000 camera, so I don't know if anybody. I definitely won't be kind of looking at that sort of price range.
I mean, let me just get my credit card.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, it doesn't exist.
But the specs it came out, people were pretty impressed by, and then Sony seemed to be pretty good at sort of punching Canon in the face just when they think they're on their high horse. They come out with this new model called the FX9, and it is a beast. It is huge. It's a full-frame cinema camera, which has got the autofocus system of like a mirrorless camera, which that in itself is pretty impressive. It's got like electronic ND filters, so you can slowly step up. Like normally an ND filter you have to place in front of the camera, it has to go up in stops incrementally. But this one's electronic, so you can actually put it on auto, and the ND filter can go up or down depending on what condition you are. So you can go from a really exposed environment to quite a dark environment, and it'll automatically change, which is pretty impressive. And you can put all the Sony lenses on it. It just shoots in ridiculous formats, really good image quality, for the similar sort of price of what the Canon just released, which is a bit awkward. So again, yeah, Sony punching another one to Canon. And I think a lot of Canon users are kind of feeling a bit sour at the moment because this seems to happening quite a bit. I think anything over that sort of £1,500 mark, you start getting to that Sony territory, and it's very hard to kind of say no to. or go against. So that's one update on the big camera front. Yeah, another good one. Android 10's now come out for Pixel users. So if you've got a Google phone, I think anyone from the 3 to the 3A, they have now got Android 10 on. It's just a new kind of sleeker design.
Can confirm. We both have it.
I haven't got
it's
it
good
yet.
fun.
I'm on a Samsung S9
You won't
Plus.
get it for a little while, mate.
Haven't got it
Oh,
yet.
You won't get it for a little
Sucker.
while.
I'm an iPhone person. I will say that. So sorry, Android users out there.
Sorry, you're surrounded by Android users here,
Oh
Aiden.
goodness.
We normally have an Apple segment. Somehow they haven't made it in this week. They haven't done
No.
anything bad.
No, I haven't. I mean, the Apple Bite is ready to go when required.
GoPro, some leaked images of a new upcoming GoPro Hero 8. Belle, you said that you found some interesting designs.
So the GoPro Hero 8 Black Edition, because they haven't released any information about the other editions as of yet, looks pretty much like every other GoPro ever, except it now has this multimedia mount. Ooh. It's so much fanciness. So essentially,
stick something to my GoPro.
pretty much. So there's this quite amusing, adorable picture of a GoPro with like a little kind of like plastic shell around it, with the smallest small LED panel, which I think is like a row of like 2 rows of 3 LEDs,
Right.
and like a little circle for a microphone. So I'm like, so that's a bit bizarre. There's also this kind of big orange housing they've built for it, which apparently was also with the GoPro Hero 7 you could get as kind of like a flotation device, and it was like bright orange or yellow,
Okay.
so you could see it if you're in the sea, if you lose it, and it's like, oh, it's over there, it's the big orange bobbing thing. So apparently they've made a better one of those, which doesn't encroach on the camera as much as the last one.
Okay.
But no word yet of when the release date is, or any other specs or stats for it. Just literally some pictures and some accessories.
It's quite interesting, that sort of action camera market, because you can get stuff ranging from 40 quid up to 500, and they all sort of do different things. But I think GoPro's still holding their own for now, at least. On side with the sort of Android 10 update, we've also got the Google Pixel 4 that now has a release date, or at least a conference announced for it. It's October 15th. That's when they're saying to mark your calendars for. Oh wow!
There's a picture of a very tiny LED
okay.
panel
Ooh,
and a
that
very
is-
tiny microphone,
Huh.
which I think looks both adorable and I'm not quite sure how that's going to help in any way.
It is very cute. I do like that.
It's got a hot shoe
It's
though.
nice.
It's pretty cool.
And you
That
can
is
put a
pretty
little
cool.
screen on it as well, so you have a slightly bigger screen.
Might be a
Wow.
cold shoe. We never know.
But yeah, no, there you go.
Cool.
Lovely.
Yeah,
Wait, hang on a
and
minute.
oh,
It said that article said it had the ability to shoot 4K 120.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Blimey.
More
The ability
information.
to shoot 4K at 120 frames.
So
a
that's why they're so
second.
expensive.
That is going to
and I
get
can't afford
warm, or full HD at 480.
wow.
Oh my goodness.
Jeez Louise.
But that's obviously just the black edition, so we don't know about any of the other slightly less tech savvy versions.
Wow.
See,
Well,
like-
we'll have to check this
But
out.
yeah.
I ski on the occasions. Having a GoPro to do that stuff would be fantastic, but they're so expensive.
They are. They are encroaching and pretty pricey now, I'd say. However, they bring out new generations pretty quickly, don't they? And I don't think just drop the price of the previous ones. So,
Mm.
yeah, we'll keep an eye on that. And the sort of like the last one I want to talk about, which I think is pretty big news. So, Facebook has teamed up with the Met Police, and the reason they've
Interesting.
done this
Interesting, yeah.
is firearms related. So,
Ooh.
basically, what's happening is Facebook are giving firearms training units, sort of GoPros essentially, on their chest to film them as they're doing their firearm training, and they now have an algorithm which is processing how the screen looks when there's a gun on the screen being pointed and fired. The reason why is so Facebook can combat people live streaming terrorist attacks,
Ooh.
which is obviously being
Interesting.
quite a big thing.
That's a good
Because
idea.
the past few ones in America, they've been instantly live streamed to Facebook, and that every second that video's up, who knows what could happen on there or what people are seeing. So they're trying to come up with this algorithm, so when it detects a certain sort of frame from a live stream or something, it's learning all the time, and then it should be able to kind of red alert, and then people can kind of jump on it straight away and take a look. It's pretty interesting. So
Some smart AI involved for
It is
that.
yeah,
sure.
smart
absolutely.
AI.
Yeah. Does that mean all of your Call of Duty montages are irrelevant? No, apparently not now.
Okay, good. Oh.
Oh, my Twitch streaming days are over.
Yeah.
No.
But yeah, they're using this data to combat live streaming of terrorist attacks, which have
That
become
is
pretty
good.
prevalent on there apparently. So, interesting bit of
Yeah.
technology being put to work on social media.
Mm.
Yeah, and that about wraps up some tech news for the week.
Nice.
Good.
Anyone else found any other tech? No. Going. Gone. I feel like I need like a gavel now, like a proper go full auctioneer. So next up is track of the week, because finally I have my own jingle. Hooray!
Woo.
Yes,
That was
that's
br-
wicked.
That was
love
sweet.
that.
I like that.
Mine's,
I like it.
Mine's too like
Bulky.
big budget now.
Well, I've gone all in for Steve.
Can you play it again? Just play
Yes.
Steve's one,
Oh,
because
Steve's
it
one
just
again.
reminds me. I can imagine Steve like rising out the ground,
I am the
about to
one
shoot
and
like a
only.
laser. Fire the cannons!
Welcome.
Track of the week this week.
My name's Steve. I'm the technician, and welcome to the chase.
Chaser, question number 1. What is the capital of Switzerland?
Oh, you put me on the spot. I don't know.
Yep. Come
I have
on.
no idea.
Oslo,
Oh,
That's Finland.
Norway. Actually,
That's Norway.
Norway.
Wait.
Damn.
don't
Got
know.
my
Three
question wrong. The answer's burn.
Not
Oh.
have got that.
Why
Yeah,
do you
there
know?
you go.
Why do you know
Just throw
that?
some geography at me. This is a
Well,
That
you
was
said-
savage.
You're on the chase. Anything could come up. Next week, if you mention it, I'm just going to bring out a
I'm going to
random
be ready.
question.
That's going to be a little.
Gonna
thing.
be
We're
ready.
going to keep that right. I'm going to get one. I'll
What?
get one right. One of your random.
What? One of my
quickfire
random,
questions.
one of quickfire. I'll have to really think of quickfire questions for you.
It's fine.
Anyways, track of the week. There's its right jingle. There it is. So track of the week this week is generally anything I quite like the sound of, and I was actually struggling a bit to think of something I've been listening to recently that I'm thinking is quite new, quite out there. I normally like to pick something a bit out there. Foster the People have been releasing songs like Nobody's Business recently, and I'm loving them. But I thought, you know what, Foster the People, I had them last year. I'm not going to touch on them until later.
Skip them.
But because I'm waiting for that album to be released, they've teased about 8 songs, and they haven't released any album information yet. So I'm waiting patiently, is what it'll be. But who knows? Foster People will of course crop up in track of the week at some point, no doubt. But this week I went with a slightly left field choice. Do people remember Lindsay Sterling?
I definitely remember Lindsay Sterling.
Adan
Fantastic.
knows.
No, she was great. Fantastic violinist.
Violinist is right.
Yeah,
violinist.
yeah.
I was she's great. Honestly, yeah. I haven't
Throws
heard
me
this-
back a few years for
Mm.
sure.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Steve?
Don't know if I can say that because I'm still quite young. So
I can't say I know who that is.
So, the tiny Lindsay Sterling backstory. She went on to America's Got Talent because she is an American artist. Went on with her violin, and her kind of thing is dancing while playing the violin at the same time.
Okay.
That's her USP. So there's quite famously a film footage of Piers Morgan absolutely savagely roasting her, going, "No, you'll never be famous. No, this will never take off." But everyone else voted yes, so she got through a few rounds, but didn't make it to didn't get very far in the final, I don't think, if I remember rightly. But the internet loved her and went, "Yes, we will love you" upon the internet. So she's got her own, obviously, YouTube channel. She uploads original songs. She uploads covers. She does like kind of like dubstep violin-y kind of style covers of things. But obviously using her violin. And then the music videos of her doing like normally like dance moves, or she's almost like breaking her back in half and still playing the violin absolutely perfectly fine, which I find weirdly compelling. And the fact that I can't do it very much annoys me.
Wow.
It is.
Okay.
It is. Yeah, she's great.
She is really good. So she's got a new album out at the moment called Artemis, which I think came out last week or the very beginning of this week, which has some quite good songs on it. But nowadays she does featuring artists. So she has an artist called Ellie King featuring on this particular track called The Upside. It's a very nice kind of poppy song with obviously her violin like sort of throwing its weight around throughout the whole piece. There is a violin-only version which has no extra lyrics to it, where obviously the violin takes the role of the lyrics in the song, and it's really, really good.
That's good. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah,
Sweet.
I like it. I've been playing it non-stop. I'm going to get the album when I get home. Yes.
Good.
because I like her stuff. It's good stuff. So I'll be adding that to the Where's My Kit Bag playlist, which you can find on Spotify with all the previous tracks of the weeks on. If you want to subscribe, listen, whatever people do on Spotify these days, I don't know. But yeah, Lindsay Sterling featuring Ellie King. The Upside is my track of the week. I highly recommend giving it a go.
Nice.
Lovely.
Nice.
Yeah, sorted. Right, so that is over and done with track of the week. Now it is time for What Have We Been Watching? So probably the most hotly debated section of our podcast, I would say, is What Have We Been Watching? Last week was a bumper episode of Quickfire.
That was good fun.
Quickfire scores, Quickfire films, TV shows, anything. So Adan, would you like to start us off?
Ooh.
What, Adan, have you been watching this
let us
past
know.
week or over the summer? Because
will
you weren't here
indeed.
last week, so we'll open up to,
Right.
did you watch anything good over the summer?
Over the summer, I believe the only decent thing I watched was Avengers Endgame, which of course was fantastic because I'm a Marvel nerd. It was brilliant.
The only caveat, Adan, is you must give every film a score out of 10.
I'd give it a 9.
Ooh, high praise.
9. It's not a perfect 10 because I had a few grapes and gripes, but 9 definitely.
Did you get to watch that in the cinema? Or
Yes,
did you
no, it was in the,
stream it or
it was in the cinema. It was a very good experience. I did cry, I will admit. I'm not afraid to admit that. I did cry because it was very emotional for me because I've watched every single Marvel film. But yeah, no, I watched that. Not much over the summer. The other day, I did watch Blade Runner 2049, which again
great film.
was fantastic. Ryan Gosling is a fantastic and handsome actor, so he did a brilliant job. And fun fact, actually, apparently Ridley Scott served as an executive producer on the film, which I did not know. Which I thought was pretty cool. And the director, David Villeneuve, is actually doing a remake of Dune, which is a bit of a throwback for anyone that's older than like 40, probably. But yeah, no.
40?
Well,
I
it's-
love the Doom franchise.
Yeah, well, Dune came out a long time ago. I haven't seen it, but apparently it's meh. But yeah, no, so he's doing that remake.
There's one with like Dwayne the Rock Johnson that's just laughable.
It reminds me of,
the
like,
Scorpion King.
yeah.
Oh,
No,
God.
not
No,
that
no,
one.
No, I think it's just called Doom something. I don't
Is
know.
it?
Oh no,
Oh, man.
Dwayne Johnson also did a film of the Doom game, which was atrocious.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I don't recommend that. But yeah, no. So Blade Runner 2049.
What would you give it out of?
Fantastic.
What would you give it out of 10, Adan? Oh, tough question.
Again, I would give it a 10, but I think Jared Leto just serves no presence. He just serves no purpose. So I'm going to give it a 9. He just has no. He's just there. He's a blind guy. He kills a few people, and that's about it. That's all his character serves. So he is no purpose.
So he's been struggling a little bit, hasn't he?
He has. Jared Leto's been struggling. No offense to you, Jared, if you listen to this. I love you. 30 Seconds to Mars is a great band, but no, I just didn't think you were that good in it. But yeah, no, 9 out of 10 for me, Blade Runner. Still a fantastic movie. Definitely watch it if you haven't yet.
Have you seen the original Blade Runner?
I have indeed, twice, because I fell asleep halfway through watching it the first time.
Oh.
So,
It's quite a long film.
it's very
Yeah.
long. Actually, yeah, I mean, even the 2049 was like 2 and 3/4 hours. So I
Yeah.
was like, oh, crikey, it's
That
been a
seems to be the
watch.
trend at the moment.
Mm.
Trend, doesn't it? There's a lot of films punching over the sort of 2.5 hour mark.
Yeah, but no, yeah, it was absolutely fantastic. Watch it if you haven't already. Yeah.
Nice.
Cool.
And
What do you
any-
oh,
oh,
you
no,
go.
no, no, you go.
I have a
After you.
question. What do you think, or how do you think Marvel's approaching their new sort of phase of superheroes? Because they've got, obviously they had a bit of issue with Sony. Did you hear about that with Spider-Man rights? And
I did, yeah. The rights, I never liked Sony having the rights to Spider-Man. It just, I don't. It's tricky when you have a different company having the rights to, like a franchise's character. Like, I mean, you know, I can't really say anything because Marvel agreed for Sony to have the rights to it. I mean, I don't really know too much about it, but I know that people were very, very upset about it. I am, if that sort of ruins the whole Spider-Man thing, because Spider-Man's one of my favourites, and of course Tom Holland does a fantastic job.
they
But
did really well with that.
he did
sort of reboot,
fantastic.
didn't
Far From Home, I've not yet seen, but Homecoming was really good. I always stand by the fact that Tobey Maguire is the best Spider-Man, but I get a lot of if for that. So, but, you know, I'm a bit 50-50 on the situation, because as long as Marvel still produces good films, like as long as the Russo brothers are still on to direct films and they come out well, then it's not too much of a gripe, I suppose. But yeah, no, it's just a bit annoying.
Cool, thank you.
It's all right.
Nice. I like it. Who wants to go next? That is the question.
Go on.
Steve?
Go on then. Go on, Steve.
I'm quite stale this week. I've only watched.
Oh,
I've been really busy this week. I've been spending a lot of my evenings either editing or being social and catching up with old work friends. To be fair, one thing I did watch was good, but I wouldn't say it was any sort of good television or film. I watched the 3rd season of Travels with My Father with Jack Whitehall.
Oh, that's not
so
one of
bad.
those.
I love
No.
Jack Whitehall.
It's
I want to
it's,
watch it so badly.
it's great. It was funny. It's only 2 episodes, but
I was going to say they're quite. Are they quite long episodes? To counteract?
they're 2 1-hour episodes compared to 5 30-minute episodes that are in the previous
So
seasons.
roughly,
So give or
almost the
take,
same time.
it does end quicker. It feels like it's a lot faster, but I'm not going to obviously spoil anything, but it's just,
I haven't seen it.
it's a
no.
great formula that works. It's again, a lot of shock value in it. It's funny. It's very British humor. Nothing too special in regards to any sort of cinematic or technical conventions. It's just you get what's
good
on
watch.
the tin.
Mm.
Yeah. And sadly, when you start something, if there's 11 seasons and you're 9 into it, you just got to hurry up and finish it.
Yeah.
So the odd half an hour I've had here and there, I have been watching Big Bang Theory, and it's blatant racism. But I just want to get it out of the way, get it finished, because my girlfriend quite enjoys it. But it is alright. It's just it's mindless TV and quite tasteless American humor. But you keep watching it for some bizarre reason.
Just hooks you in.
Yeah.
I can't watch things that are too long. Like I absolutely adored Walking Dead when I started it. I got 6 seasons in. I lost interest. I was like, no, I can't. It's just things that are too long. I've got people like, oh, watch Breaking Bad. Oh, watch Peaky Blinders. It's just like when I see something's got more than like 3 seasons, like I can't be bothered to take the time to watch it.
Game of Thrones?
Again, I can't be bothered. My brother praises it like so much, but I can't.
Interesting. I understand what you're talking about. Like it can be quite a mammoth task, but I think
Yeah, and I also think it gives you more intrigue if you catch a show and carry on watching it from when it starts. Like I just think it adds more of like a reason to keep watching it. Whereas like when something's been out and you start watching, people like, oh, this happens and this happens. I'm like, oh well, just let me watch it.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to catch series from the start. So
Yeah, I think something like Game of Thrones, a lot of people watched it as it's been going along rather than getting to the end and then watching all the seasons in one go, which is quite a task, to be fair. Yeah.
it is. Yeah, definitely.
But that's it for me, unfortunately, this week. I really wanted to catch the second chapter of it, but I got bailed on by Jade.
Apparently that was quite disappointing though compared to the first
really?
film.
I've
Yeah,
heard
no. Apparently
quite
people
good
said it was
things.
quite disappointing, but
I'll have to check it out.
I can't say I haven't seen it. So
I do still want to go and watch it, even though she doesn't want to come with me. But yeah, that was my plan this weekend. But hey ho, plans fall through. Travels with My Father. There you go. Oh, ratings. Travels with My Father, for what it is. Bear in mind, look at it for what it is. It's a 9. But in the grand scheme of things, it'd be very low on a list of actually good stuff. And Big Bang Theory is still sitting at, what did I give it last time? Like a 5.
5, yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to change. But yeah, there you go. That's me.
Nice.
good.
Cool.
Mr. Devro.
Yeah, I'll go over next. A series I can fully recommend that's just come out on Netflix is called Unbelievable. And it's almost fully based on a true story, or is a true story. And it's quite a tough topic. It's all around sort of sexual assault. And these people not being believed that has happened. It's in a time where evidence was a bit harder to get, or things, there was ways where criminals could access evidence, enough information to then cover their own crime scene. And it's just a slowly developing story that has multiple character arcs that then kind of all come together. And that's all I'll say. But it's really interesting how episode 1 sets up who you think is going to be a protagonist, and then it kind of evolves from there. I won't say any more.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
sounds intriguing.
Yeah, really good. Cinematography, amazing.
Is it just one season or is it 2?
One season.
One season.
I think it's 7 or 8 episodes. They're all about
nice short run.
I think they're about an hour long though.
Ooh.
But it flies by because the characters are so strong.
Ooh.
Wow.
Fantastic. And I think it's it's just a different perspective, I think, and it tackles a topic that's quite hard to deal with. I think it does it really well, and even though it's a true story, it feels quite unpredictable as you're watching it. So I give that probably an 8.5.
Ooh, high
Good.
praise,
Yeah,
high praise.
really good.
High praise, yeah.
Netflix is kind of doing it again. And then on the weekend we watched Bridesmaids for the
Yes.
first time I've ever seen it, and
I can't believe you haven't seen
Yeah.
Bridesmaids until this weekend.
the amount
just
of
gone.
quotes you could take out of that film is unbelievable.
Oh,
But
it's
yeah, for
love
what it is, I quite enjoyed it. I could probably give it about like a 6.5, 7. Quite,
Alright.
it was a good watch, enjoyable watch. I think that's about it for now.
Have you finished Mindhunter yet?
No, we
Well,
stopped.
that's supposed to be quite good.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the pacing just felt not as intriguing as the first one. Although we did watch all of season 1 and then start season 2, so I think maybe we just burnt ourselves out watching it.
so it passed the 3-episode test.
Yeah, I think we got quite far in, but for some reason I think we're just gonna take a break away from then come back to it. I think.
Oh, so just another little mini recommendation from me. I've watched the show Afterlife with Ricky Gervais on
Oh,
Netflix,
yeah, that's
which
great.
is
Very good.
fantastic. It's heartbreaking, but it's so funny. It's a really wonderful watch. So yeah, definitely watch that one.
I was
too.
sad that was such a short run of episodes.
Yeah.
They are.
I really wanted more.
He has written another script.
Yeah, that'd be great.
He's great. He's a really good writer. He's fantastic, Ricky Gervais, honestly. But yeah, no.
Cool. Over to you, Belle.
Most of mine have been rewatches actually this week.
Ooh.
I don't think I've watched any original content. I suck.
Oh,
I
come
know.
on. Gotta watch
I'm waiting
new
for all my
stuff.
TV shows to reboot that I watch. So I watched Bridesmaids with Will. It was just fun watching his reactions. So obviously the other people in the room who had already seen it before, I all kind of turned to Will and be like, "Do a funny? Yes, you're laughing. Good. That's funny." So that's always was quite enjoyable. I personally would give it 8 out of 10. It does make me giggle every time I watch it. I hadn't seen it for a good 3 odd years. So it was quite nice rewatching it with someone who hasn't seen it, which I found quite nice, especially with a group of us watching it. It was really quite cool. And then I rewatched a film called Date Night with Steve Carell and I can't remember the other actress's name.
That is a good movie. I will
Tina
admit,
Fey.
I will admit that is a good film.
I wanted to watch that in cinema when it came out.
Steve Carell and Tina Fey.
Got 8 out of 10s, I think. It was pretty strong.
So Date Night is great value fun. Came out in when is that? 2010. No,
That's
not Game
old.
Night to be confused
Oh,
with.
that's what I was
Game
thinking.
Night.
Game Night is on my list of things to rewatch again.
So
Will come round mine and we'll rewatch
all right,
it.
I need to watch that.
Game Night is the newer one, but Date Night is the one with Steve Carell in it, which is basically a story about a married couple who leave their kids with a babysitter, and then they have a night in the city, and lots of things go wrong. I think is the best way.
Very, very funny.
Best way to describe it. Steve Carell is on absolute top performance. There's some really fun lines in it. And you know what? I give it 7 out of 10. It made me laugh. It did its job.
Good.
I left watching going, I enjoyed that. It's pretty much my good summary.
That's a very good outlook to have on watching films. That's good. Yeah.
If it leaves you happy that you've watched it, not depressed or sad, but that might be your thing. Depends what the film is. But if that left me depressed or sad, something's clearly gone wrong.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I don't think I've watched any other TV recently. Actually, I'm waiting for things to come back to reboot for the latest seasons.
I'm hyped for Ad Astra. I think that's going to be awesome.
Ooh.
Can't wait for that.
I am very, very much excited for Joker. That's what I'm waiting for.
Oh yeah, for
I'm
sure.
That's
so
getting
excited.
very high
October?
praise.
It's getting very high praise.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
Joaquin Phoenix is just made to play it.
The trailer is
trailer's
unreal.
fantastic. It's unreal, honestly.
So, I don't know. You might know this. Has Joker always had the uncontrollable laughter issue, or is that something new to this film?
It's always been a thing with Joker doing the laugh. Heath Ledger never did it. Rest his soul in his films.
Yeah.
I can't remember if Jack Nicholson ever did, or Cesar Romero, who is from the shows. I am just a 70-year-old man in a teenage body, honestly.
Because in this film, he's got a syndrome where he laughs uncontrollably.
Well, I think they're playing on the origin of because of course Joker has
October the 4th.
Yeah, because a lot of characters have different beginnings. Of course, the Arthur Fleck is a comedian, so it's sort of
similar.
Yeah, but
because they're not rolling with the Red Hood gang, are they? That sort of.
No.
I don't. Well, there was no mention of that or a trailer. Or
No,
anything,
well, because
so.
Red Hood was mainly a comics thing. They've never done a Joker with the Red Hood in any of the films. But
No.
Yeah, no. So I'm very, very excited for it.
Yeah, that'd be
Gonna watch
awesome.
that as soon as I get the chance.
For me, the only good DC film that I've seen is probably Wonder Woman. Really,
Wonder Woman. Oh, Watchmen was quite good. I liked Watchmen.
You don't like any of the Batman?
I mean, well,
Oh yeah, no. Dark Knight trilogy.
like the current DC kind of realm. I
Okay.
mean,
Oh,
I'm
right.
counting the Dark Knight as its own separate entity.
I'll just say it like they were.
But like kind of like the
Love those.
Justice League and
no, not Justice League.
the other one with
Aquaman.
Aquaman was funny, but I don't think it was really amazing.
Well,
it was just kind of
I mean,
an occasional laughter at Jason Momoa.
I mean,
but-
James Wan, the guy that directed it, I'm pretty sure he normally does horror stuff,
Yeah.
as far as I'm aware. So it's a bit, I guess it's like M. Night Shyamalan doing a comedy. You just sort of got to stick to what you're good at, I suppose.
stick to your niche.
Yeah, stick to
but-
your niche.
I
but-
always like this. There was a phrase I heard. It was like, with Marvel, you're waiting for the one that goes wrong, and with DC, you're waiting for the one that goes right.
Ooh.
Is it?
Yeah.
Which is, I was like, oh, you know what? That's actually how
that
I
sort of
kind
makes sense.
Which is, yeah. it's
Because
weird
if
way
I
to
just
look at
say it, Marvel has made more good,
Better.
Marvel has made better films than DC, like throughout their career. So that, of course, is the.
I think it's just the
credited to,
character building,
Stanley.
isn't it?
Mm.
Like
Yeah, no, definitely.
by Endgame, everybody's fully committed to the characters, and
fully committed,
you know
yeah.
that you've spent hours and hours watching them pop up in different things here and there. I think Disney Plus would be interesting, wouldn't it? The fact they're putting exclusive
intrigued for
content,
that, yeah.
Star Wars content, Marvel content.
Oh, like I saw a trailer for an original series that are going to go on Disney Plus about a bounty hunter in the Star Wars.
Mandalorian.
Yeah, Mandalorian. So
That looks amazing.
they're having the original stuff can be interesting because like some of it can be good, some of it can be bad, but
Just
you know,
another subscription
it
service
will
to
be.
pay for.
Disney Plus will be interesting, I think, to see how they're going to do it.
Cool.
But yeah,
It's an interesting time because I always find the DC TV shows, so your Flash, Arrow, et al. I think are better than any of the Marvel ones that have been done thus far. But that's just me.
Yeah.
Although they all started very good and they've kind of petered.
yeah.
But
No,
some of them haven't.
Daredevil was fantastic, but then they of course they cancelled that.
Yeah.
I will admit though, some of the DC series are supposed to be quite good. I haven't watched like Archer and all that, but Luke Cage I can get into. Iron Fist was blech.
I thought that was appalling.
Iron Fist was appalling.
I watched one episode and then went, nope.
I watched it all, but very tough watch. It was just
Yeah.
rubbish.
It was just Blair, filler, Blair. It was awful.
Pad. All the mighty
Yeah.
pads.
Although they're doing a new Loki series apparently, so I'm intrigued to see how that's going to go.
Is that Disney Plus?
No, that's good. I think that's Netflix. I
Oh,
think.
right. It's
I
so
believe.
weird, isn't it? The fact that
It
they
is.
still released to a
Yeah.
competitor. But we'll see.
Well,
I
it
think
depends how
yeah.
much money they're going to throw
I
at
think
it,
it's gotten
really.
to the point where they're just going to milk every character they can. So, well, the big ones anyway. So,
Cool.
thank you, Marvel.
Oh, bless them.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think that pretty much ends episode 2 of
Hooray!
the
Lovely.
Where's My KitBag podcast. Have you enjoyed your time here, Adan?
I have indeed. This was very delightful.
Thank you
and
for joining us.
You're very welcome.
Thanks.
It's been good to get an insight on how amazing this podcast is.
Oh,
And the chemistry between you three lovely gentlemen. So it's all good.
oh,
What
the
an amazing
flattery.
guest.
The
Wow.
flattery.
I have to get my goodie bag.
Yay!
the podcast collector's edition pin or something.
But yeah, no, this has been a fantastic experience because I've always wanted to do my own podcast as a sort of given me a bit of a feel for how it works. And it's just four lads,
There you go.
just four lads having a chat.
Pretty much.
Yeah,
Pretty
pretty
much.
much. 4 lads and some
Hey.
jingles.
There's the title.
4 lads having a bit of a chat.
Yay!
With a couple of jingles thrown in for good measure.
Hey, some
and
good jingles. So actually, well done on the jingles. I'm
Thanks.
very proud of you, James. Well done.
Thanks, Aiden. But yeah, that pretty much ends the Where's My KitBag podcast. Thank you very much for joining us, Aiden.
You are very welcome.
Otherwise, it's goodbye from me, James.
Goodbye from me.
And I'm Steve.
And I'm Aiden, I guess.
I didn't even say my name. Goodbye from me, Will.
So, thank you for listening to the Where's My KitBag podcast. Please feel free to drop us a comment about anything you want us to cover in the section below, or hit us up on Instagram or Twitter at F6 Media Film. Thank you, legends.